I was at the same event, and for me the most poignant speech of the night was Moazzam Begg. As you know, I work with him in the human rights organisation Caged Prisoners. But it was quite a departure from his usual sort of speech.
About Guantanamo. Well, the former Guantanamo detainee revealed another side, not normally seen by the public. Watch this.
There has been this great talk all around the world about the evils of the Taliban and so forth. But there's one lesson that here in this country, Britain, we have learnt. And I say even to our Afghan friends also, those who support the present government, that Britain has a lesson in its history with terrorism, with the opposite, with the people that they don't like, with the people that they demonized. That was the IRA. And the only way that they reached a solution with the IRA was not to talk to the democratic parties who were part of that political process only. They had to speak to the very people that they had fought against, the people whose voices they had blocked, the IRA. And that's the only thing that brought about a peace in Northern Ireland. And if you look at the history of what the IRA did, in comparison to what Al-Qaeda has done in this country, what Al-Qaeda has done is relatively tame. 3,000 people died in that conflict, which included the bombing of 10 Downing Street by a mortar rocket and the killing of the Queen's cousin, the last Viceroy of India, Lord Mountbatten. In 2001, I went with my wife and children to live in Afghanistan, to work on a project to build a school for girls in Taliban-administered Afghanistan. Very few people hear about this. Very few people think that this was actually possible. But I'm here to tell you that it was possible because I was involved in this process. My daughter was even at this school. Why did they allow us to do this? Because I, amongst many others, many foreign Muslims at the time who were going there, realized and understood that yes, the Taliban is in power. Yes, we don't agree with their harsh implementation of Islamic law. And clearly I saw with my own eyes some of those things, which included hangings. It included beating people up. I didn't go to see hangings. I saw people hanging in the streets. But what was the alternative for us as Muslims to do? To take the position that the rest of the Western world had done and say, shun them, leave them alone, let them die? Or should we engage with them, knowing that in Britain, the only way we reached a solution with terrorism was through engagement, through dialogue, not by banning Gerry Adams's voice, but by opening it and hearing what does he have to say. The reality is that with anything, even with the Taliban or anyone else, everybody's not the same. Everybody is not the same. You are all not here the same. And you must take people according to what their beliefs and their individual actions are, and not come to this position and say, we cannot, we'll never negotiate with anybody. Because that has been the damning process that we have seen. And I want to tell you, my experience of Afghanistan only lasted a few months. I managed to, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, open or build at least 10 wells in the drought-stricken regions of Afghanistan. And I believe for that, the people who took part in that, it was a sadaqah jariyah, something that they will continue to be rewarded for even after they are dead, if the water keeps flowing. I lived in a region in an area called Wazir Akbar Khan, which I know that Dr. Halbawi, the real doctor, knows well. And it's a very prominent area that some of you may have known. I lived in a house which cost me $100 a month. I'm told now that that same house costs $15,000 a month. Unbelievable. Which ordinary Afghan could live in a place like that? So what has changed in this place? How much good has happened? I want to explain something to you, because after I evacuated under the cruise missiles and the vacuum bombs and the carpet bombs and the phosphorus bombs and the smart bombs and the dumb bombs that don't discriminate between man, woman, child, animal, plant, Taliban, Northern Alliance, they are indiscriminate. When they kill indiscriminately. They don't care who they kill. And they kill by the thousands. And there is no difference in essence between that indiscriminate killing and the indiscriminate killing of a suicide bomber.